Welcome back to the channel. I'm glad you could join me tonight. I got a little bit rambunctious tonight and decided to do a live show because we are about to cross 40,000 subscribers on the channel. We're at 39,996 at this point in time, which is pretty damn cool in the grand scheme of things. And a couple of people in Discord decided to, well, they thought I should go live. Now, disclaimer, right before I went live here, I actually fell down my stairs carrying these down, not holding the handrail in new synthetic socks, which are very slippy on hardwood floor. I took a bit of a tumble, so I'll admit I'm hurting real bad right now. Uh, but we're going to try and do a little bit of a live show anyway, regardless. Cheers, Armando. Cheers, Vincent. Awesome, and congratulations. Thank you. Well, we're still 4 away, so we've got just a few subscribers to go. And, well, maybe with your guys' help, if you guys share this video out or post it on social media or something, maybe we'll cross 40K when we're live. If not, no big deal. I'm not too concerned. But I thought, well, let's go live anyway. I have to do some repairs. Oh, and plus, look at this. We actually have non-potato vision. You guys should be able to detect that the video is not potato video like it has been recently. Let me know if you guys think this is better. I really think it's better. You should be able to actually see what I'm working on in full HD quality. I sorted out the settings, which was my bad, but in theory, I should be able to bring this webcam in and we should be able to work nice and tight. And if we want to, we can work on the microscope, which is up here, and go back and forth to work on both. So now I can have the microscope in the corner as well as work live. We got a little bit of glare off the lights, off of the OLED screens and stuff, but it's the best I can do, and truthfully, well, I just fell down the stairs, so I'm hurting really bad. This is the best I can do for our 40K crossover, honestly, guys. I hope this'll do. Steven is here. Cheers, Steven. And hi from San Diego. Cheers to San Diego. Man, I remember how it was before 2K and you're at 40K. Good job. Cheers, Mario. If you've been around since 2K, man, you've been around for the majority of like how long is the channel? 2007-ish? Something like that. We've been around a long time. That's a lot of years. Tech Mason, great setup. Well, let me know what you think, Mike. I think we're in the zone now, but and Kenneth is here. Ken's here. Cheers, Ken. You've been around a long time too, man. And Brian Locke is here. Hello from tomorrow. Cheers to Europe and Tomorrowland. Well, we'll see. The live sub count I have up on. Uh, I can't show that monitor easily. Off camera, I've got another monitor showing my sub count, and we are still at 39,996. So we're not at 40K yet, but damn, we're close. So what I'll do, what we've got to do is undo one of Eric's stupids from the other night. Not this one. This is the feather side by side, but this feather stacking. The other night I soldered the antenna on, but I screwed up. I put it down through, and unfortunately I only have a couple of these, and I need the antenna coming up through this PCB because it's going to be mounted to my custom PCB that I'm going to have made from Osh Park or elsewhere. So we've got to desolder that and pull it back out and rework it. So if you didn't already see these, this is the Feather LoRa radios that I've got talking through the OLEDs. Well, we can quickly fire them up. Super quick. Now that we could actually show them on camera, it might actually work. My potato vision prevented me from doing this the other night. Focus. And you guys actually might be able to read the text on the screen, but maybe. If not, we can put it under the microscope. But we've got the OLED working, we've got the two talking to each other, transmitting packets back and forth, and alerting when they're not working correctly, which is just what I wanted. Everything is working fantastic, except, well, that antenna. And the one under the microscope over here, we're going to solder up some headers on that, and we'll do that. Well, we might as well do that live right now until my right arm stops working, because, well, I just tumbled on the thing and it hurts like hell. I'll be very honest. I took a pretty bad tumble. I threw a band-aid on to stop it from bleeding through under my elbow. Can't get it on camera. My bad. But I think we can make the best of it. Quick catch up on the chat. Breakthrough for this noob. Hello from Mass. Took all day. Can you guys see me? Yep, we can see you. What did the range test end up showing for distance? I didn't get it done. I didn't get the range test done. Entirely my bad. I meant to do it today, but things just got away from me today, so we don't have the range test done on this yet. And is the webcam the C920? Yep, the C920 right here on this boom arm. Except with proper settings. So I've set in a fixed focal distance and told OBS Studio what the proper settings are, because it's too dumb to figure them out on its own. If you let it figure out on its own, it will come back with potato vision. So anyway, let's fire up soldering irons. We're going to use the Unger 5200 and we're going to use the 898D. Those are going to both warm up for just momentarily. And we shall pull these out and we're going to desolder this. We'll pull the OLED off. And we're just going to switch the antenna from going through from the bottom to coming through from the top. That way when I get my custom PCBs, this will work. And we can do this under the microscope. Because why not? We have it. And I think I have a scene set up where we can do that. We don't need that. Where is my microscope scene? There we go. There we go. That is not the best focus. We can fix. There we go. That'll be a little better. So we'll pull that out from the bottom. What we'll do, once the iron warms up, we're going to hit it with just a tiny bit of flux, and then we're just going to hit it with a solder sucker. And then we'll hit it with some goot wick, maybe, if we need to. And that'll be that. And we'll switch it around to the bottom side, hopefully without changing the length of the antenna, with any luck. And I'm going to need my splash pad. We still haven't changed in subscribe. Oh yeah, there's subscriber alerts now on the channel, so we should actually get notified if anything changes. Let's go ahead and, so we'll throw a little bit of flux on there, because it helps in heat transfer. We truthfully don't need it, but it really, really, really helps in transfer. So I'll put this up on the C920. This is MG Chemicals No Clean Flux, and it is fantastic. I didn't know what I was missing until I started using this flux syringe. Just honestly, goobering the stuff on there makes all the difference in the world. And just to do things right off camera, well, not off camera, you can see it up in the corner, we're going to go ahead and fire up. This is the 486 fume extractor, and you can find that linked below in my kind of right by my store is the recommended equipment that I use on the channel, and that is one of them. So if you're interested in purchasing one, you can. It's just a dirt cheap fume extractor, but man, oh man, honestly, I didn't know what I was missing there either until I had one. Now, well, now I don't breathe near as much nasty stuff. We'll go ahead, bring this out.